Hey guys, so today I want to deploy a Next.js app on Cloudflare workers. So as you know, Next.js allows you to use React, easy to manage, easy to deploy. The issue is that the Cloudflare workers do not use Node.js directly. They have like a custom-made runtime. So you cannot just deploy directly a Next.js app to Cloudflare as you can do it with Vercel, for example. So I have found a way to do it, and it's called OpenNext. Apparently, OpenNext comes after Next on Pages. So as you can see, Next on Pages kind of deprecated now, and they recommend switching to Cloud OpenNext adapter. So it says like it's an adapter that lets you deploy Next.js apps to Cloudflare workers using the Node.js runtime. So it says that it's an important difference from Next on Pages, which only supports Edge runtime. The Edge runtime in Next.js intentionally constrains which APIs from Node.js can be used. And the Edge runtime does not support all Next.js features. And as you can see, apparently it supports pretty much, I think, all Next.js features. App router, route handlers, dynamic routes, SSG, SSR, middleware, and page router as well, which I still use a lot actually. And yeah, it looks like um, a good thing. So an important note about Windows. Apparently, it says that Windows support might to be a lower priority. Preferably, someone should use Linux instead. So uh, now about how it works. So it says back that it takes the Next.js build output and transform it so that it can run in Cloudflare workers. So it says that the adapter first builds your app by running the build script and then transforms the build output to a format that can locally use Wrangler and deploy to Cloudflare. I don't really need to understand how it works under the hood for the moment. And of course, when you deploy on Cloudflare, when you have a Cloudflare worker, you have to care about the size limit, especially on the free plan, it's 3 megabytes, and the paid plan, it's 10 megabytes. So let's go. So in order to use OpenNext, you can just use this command. It will create a Next.js app and it will use OpenNext directly. But this is not what I did. So what I prefer to do is to create a Next.js application using create next app uh, because I want to be able to configure it Uh, so you have a prompt that will ask you, do you want to use TypeScript? Do you want to use ESLint, Tailwind CSS, Uprooter? And yeah, you will have a standard Next.js app, the same kind of Next.js app that you deploy on Vercel, for example. And once you do that, then you can use the OpenNext CLI and you can run the migrate command. And the migrate command will convert a standard Next.js project into an OpenNext compatible one. So it will install everything, create the configs, and just will allow you to set up OpenNext. And after you use migrate, you actually don't use the Wrangler command. You will only use the OpenNext CLI. So once you've completed the migrate command, you can run the preview command. And the preview command will allow you to run a dev server on your machine and see if everything is right. And then, if everything is okay with the preview command, then you can commit everything in the repo and you can push it to the remote. And then you set up a Cloudflare worker and you link it to the repo. And so every time you push to the repo, the worker will build. It will run the CI/CD. So on the worker, the preview is on the local machine. And on the worker, you have to configure the deploy. So pnpm or npm if you're using npm or anything else done, I don't know. So pnpm for me, it's pnpm run deploy and pnpm run upload. These are the two commands that you have to configure on your Cloudflare worker. And then you will be able to see if it works, if actually it builds correctly on the worker or not. So the app runs on my computer. However, there is a problem. When I try to deploy to Cloudflare, it doesn't work. It throws an error. And the reason for this error is this package. So NextAuth is an authentication for Next.js. And yeah, this is the problem. Because NextAuth uses these two packages, Canva HKDF and Jose or Jose. And these two packages are involved into cryptography. And they just don't want to build. I tried many things. I tried to switch from a PNPM to NPM. I tried to disable Turbo Pack. I tried to um, I tried to install them separately. I asked Gemini, I asked ChatGPT, but I couldn't find a solution. So I'm not gonna be using uh, NextAuth, unfortunately, and instead I'm gonna use BetterAuth. So BetterAuth is free and open source, and even though there is pricing, apparently it's MIT license. So even if they switch to paid-only model, I should be able to use the last free version. But yeah, this is the recommended alternative to NextAuth. This is what I'm gonna install next. Otherwise, it works fine. Without NextAuth, it just deploys and works fine. So yeah, if you want to use NextAuth with Next.js and you want to deploy on Cloudflare, apparently, unless there's uh, something new, a new development, you cannot use NextAuth.